Aloha Pisces, welcome to your tarot reading for the week of April 20th through the 26th. We're going to dive right in. If you want to get a personal reading or join us on Patreon, all the information is down in the description box below. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. We're going to start with the overall theme or vibe for the week. We'll see if there's any potential obstacles or challenges. Then we'll see how to overcome those challenges, and then we'll get any extra messages that universe and spirit might have for you this week. We're going to start with a love oracle, and then we'll move into a general oracle just to kind of kick off the overall vibe. So let's go ahead and see what's going on in terms of emotions, love, and connections this week. What do we got going on for Pisces? April 20th through the 26th. We are looking for some messages in emotions and love. We have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. This does not have to just be about romantic love, though. This does not have to just be about a soulmate. This is just keeping an open mind this week when it comes to fulfillment, happiness, emotional connections. Maybe this is with relationships. This is literally the card of just give something a chance that you usually wouldn't. We find emotional fulfillment and happiness in many different things in our life. So if you're getting an invitation to go and do something that maybe you wouldn't necessarily do, this is a good week to just say yes. If somebody is calling you and asking if you want to go grab a coffee, maybe you wouldn't usually do that. Let's step outside of our comfort zone this week and go do something that we wouldn't usually do. You might be pleasantly surprised. Now let's go ahead and see for the general messages what we can maybe add to this overall vibe for the week so far. We have body work. Your life purpose involves body work such as massage therapy, energy healing, physical therapy, or exercise training. When we see this card, outside of you potentially going into some sort of career or business or side hustle or something that might have to do with this body work, this also represents you putting some energy and time into your own body work. Maybe we are prioritizing our physical health. Maybe we are taking 10 minutes or 20 minutes a day to just stretch or do some exercise or maybe physical therapy in some way, shape, or form. This might be a week for you to focus in on that, maybe add it into your day-to-day routine or weekly routines. If you've been waiting for a sign to maybe add some physical exercise or physical movement into your life, this might be your sign or your little green light to start doing that, okay? So this might be a good week for you to do that, Pisces. Let's go ahead and move to our tarot deck. Let's see what we have going on for the overall vibe or theme for the week with the tarot cards. We have Judgment coming out in reversal. Energy of using our best judgment moving forward, not really allowing the opinions or judgment of other people stop us or sway us from doing things in life. When we see the Judgment card in the upright, this is that energy of like, okay, we're definitely using our best judgment and we're not really allowing other things or people's opinions or judgment to stop us. This might be a week where you find yourself kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Maybe you want to explore a new avenue for friendship or love or a job or a project or a hobby, and somebody that's close to you doesn't necessarily like that hobby or that project or avenue, whatever it is. Don't allow anybody else's opinions stop you from living your life. It's your life. You get to say what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And you're also trying to keep an open mind this week. So if you're trying to keep an open mind and you're trying to maybe think outside the box or put yourself outside of the comfort zone, try not to allow, again, the opinions of other people to stop you from doing that. There's a lot of growth available to you this week if you allow yourself to kind of get outside of that comfort zone, to get, step outside the box. So use your best judgment moving forward and don't allow the judgment of others to stop you this week, Pisces. It's your life. You get to decide what you want to do, even if other people don't necessarily want to live their life that way. Let's go ahead and see what the potential obstacle or challenges this week. You have the King of Wands. It landed like this, so we're going to take it like this. The King of Wands is a king of action. So you are being asked to be the master of action this week. Be the master of passion, excitement, forward movement. All the king cards, we have 4 of them in the tarot deck. Each one is the master of their suit. This is the master of the wand suit. And the wand suit is all about confidence, motivation, forward movement, being determined, finding passion and excitement, and really getting into this sort of fiery energy, just having a lot of excitement about things. This is what you're being called into this week. It might be a challenge for you because you are a water sign. You are the last water sign of the zodiac wheel, but the first water sign of the sort of calendar year. So when you have this watery energy as a Pisces, it might be hard for you to embrace and really embody and use a fiery energy. try your best again to put yourself outside of your comfort zone this week. I think naturally when we put ourselves outside of our comfort zone, it can feel a little bit anxious. We can have a little bit of nerves, but I think once we do it and we come back into our safe space, we kind of get excited and we are, giving ourselves a little bit of a pump up. Like, I can't believe I did that. And there is a little bit of fulfillment that comes with that. So the more you practice kind of pushing yourself a little bit, I think the more you'll naturally be able to tap into that King of Wands energy. Let's go ahead and see how we're going to overcome that challenge, because again, I think naturally it's a little bit challenging for you Pisces to step into a King of Fire energy, just because you have that water and it's probably really heavy in your charts. We have the Hierophant in reversal. Again, another shaking it up this week. The way that we are going to be able to overcome that challenge of stepping into that fiery king energy is going to be changing up our day-to-day routine. The Hierophant in the upright represents structure, routine, tradition. This is kind of like I wake up, I'm in my routine, I do like the same sort of things every day. I make sure I check off my to-do list, and that's pretty much it. And that's how all of us tend to live our life, which there's nothing wrong with that. But there's always a good moment throughout the month, or even, every couple of months, to kind of reevaluate, is my day-to-day routine really in alignment with the goals that I have right now? And maybe some of the goals that you have are going to be outside of your routine, outside of your comfort zone. So in order to kind of overcome this challenge of getting more into this fiery action-based energy, we're gonna have to shake up our day-to-day routine. We're gonna have to add some new things. Maybe that is that physical activity we were talking about with the body work. Maybe we're adding 10 minutes a day of just stretching, or 20 minutes of physical activity a day, or just allowing yourself to have an extra 10 minutes in the morning to just hype yourself up to do something new. This is doing something new. Maybe we're adding a weekly outing or a monthly sort of experience or adventure into our life that maybe we usually wouldn't do. Again, that Hierophant in reversal makes total sense because we are being asked to kind of shake things up a little bit. Let's go ahead and see any extra messages that universe and spirit might have for you this week, Pisces. So far, this reading is all about adventure. It's all about thinking outside the box, giving yourself a chance to do things that you usually wouldn't do. I think this Keep an Open Mind card was a perfect sort of summarization for this entire week for you. Let's go ahead and see what the extras are. We have the Six of Swords. It's interesting because the Six of Swords kind of gives this vibe of, kind of packing up in the middle of the night and moving away and starting over. It's like you want to maybe just completely start a new life, fresh, clean slate. And that can feel a little bit intimidating to any water sign, but especially with you, Pisces, being very intuitive, it might feel a little bit overwhelming. And so the Six of Swords says, start making changes in your environment. Start making these sort of small changes on, maybe you're not physically moving. Maybe we are moving things around in our home. Maybe we're trying out a new coffee shop. Maybe we're trying a new restaurant. Maybe we're trying a new place. New energy, new environments, new places. That is going to bring tranquility and calmness into your life. Even though for some of you, you're like, Alicia, what do you mean? That feels a little bit chaotic to me. But it's the Six of Swords really represents going from sort of chaotic energy into calmer waters. And sometimes you are pleasantly surprised when you realize you gave yourself this sort of open mind. You thought outside the box, you push yourself outside your comfort zone, and you realize like, wow, okay, this is actually a lot nicer than I thought it was. I'm a lot more fulfilled. I'm glad I didn't allow the judgment of other people to stop me. I switched up my day-to-day routine, and now I'm really confident that, this is something I want to add into my life. And next thing you know, it's part of your new routine. It feels safe. It feels good. It's fulfilling. So there's some nice messages here for you, Pisces, this week. I think overall, keep an open mind. This is going to be the title of the video for this week. Keep an open mind, Pisces, because there are some new experiences, some adventures, some new lessons, new routines, new traditions that are waiting for you. So don't allow anybody to stop you this week. It's your life. You get to live it. And if you're still watching this video, consider giving it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Ohana. I love making new friends. If you want to get a personal reading with me, go to themagicsiren.com. All the information is down below. I will let you get back to your day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again soon. Aloha.